Welcome to Walking the Earth. Today we are in Lumbini, in the Terai section of Nepal. And we are at the Lumbini Sacred Garden, which is a monastic zone that includes the location where Siddhartha Gautama was born, who later became Shakyamuni Buddha. So that's a little ways away from here. So we're going to go and visit that in the monastic zone where there are Theravada temples and monasteries, as well as Mahayana temples and monasteries. But here we have a sign about the Pancha Sila. And Shila, this is ethics, morals. And Panch is five, kind of like Punjab, five rivers. So we've got the Pancha Sila, the five precepts. And as far as I'm aware, all Buddhist lay people and monastics observe at least the five precepts. And then the monastics have many more rules that they follow. And then lay people certain days of the year might observe more precepts, more rules that are a bit ascetic, that help to give a protective fence around one's life in order to purify and cultivate excellence. So anyway, so the five would be: I observe refraining from killing any living beings. I observe refraining from taking what the owner does not give. So that's do not kill, that's do not steal. I observe refraining from committing sexual misconduct. So do not commit sexual abuse toward oneself or others. Do not commit adultery, fornication. I observe refraining from telling lies. So I observe from I abstain from telling any type of falsity, untruth, lie. And finally, I observe refraining from any intoxicant or drug. This primarily is related to alcohol traditionally. Sometimes it will expand beyond that in a similar way to what you see within the Islamic understanding of alcohol and intoxicants spreading to other substances as well. So we've got the five Shila, the five precepts, and we will discuss this more in other videos. But I wanted to just share a little bit about this. Now, before going, I will say that all of these five also have a positive way of behaving and can go very deep. It can apply to self and other in thought, word, and action. So I will not kill or harm myself in thinking process, in my words, in my actions. I will not harm or kill others in my thinking, in my words, in my actions. And then, so we've got positive. So that would mean to cultivate excellence, to cultivate life, and to cultivate life force and that which leads to harmony and well-being between one another and within the context of our body and minds. I observe refraining from what the owner does not give. So this is not stealing. So then we should be giving things instead. We should be sharing along the way and share of the wealth that we have, share of our time, of our energy, of our knowledge, of our wisdom. I observe refraining from committing sexual misconduct. So instead we cultivate and generate our sexual energies in a way that will lead toward excellent behavior, because it's all energy. And we want to cultivate healthy relationships with ourselves and with others. And we don't want to abuse relationships, and we don't want to have disharmony come between ourselves. So we want to have healthy sexual expression. And this would basically mean, unless you, so if you're married, you would behave as a monk or a nun toward others. You would lower the gaze. You would have excellent conduct toward one another, and you would only be in effect a sexual being within a close, committed relationship, and predominantly a marital relationship. This has different interpretations in various areas, but so that's that. And then I will observe refraining from lies. Well, then we flip that around, and that means that we need to be truth tellers. We need to be very honest with ourselves about who we are, and because we're supposed to reflect and contemplate everything that we say, everything that we think, everything that we do, and be very honest about it, and observe what others are saying in an honest way, in a just way. And then finally, abstaining from intoxicants and drugs. Like I said, it's predominantly alcohol. It can include other things. Some people might include synthetic pharmaceuticals. Some might include pesticides and herbicides that are synthetically created. Some might include genetic modified organisms. Anything that could toxify the body, toxify the mind. This is how I tend to view it. So I have a more expansive literalism in this sense. And so now the flip side of that is if I'm not taking in toxicants, instead in toxins, now I'm going to take in purifiers. So I'm seeking foods that are also medicines and medicines that are also foods, and that will purify the body and the organs within the body, the bodily constituents. It will purify them and strengthen them, nutrify them. And anything that strengthens the body and purifies the body also strengthens and purifies the mind. We are such sophisticated, complex beings, and everything is interconnected. So these are very interesting contemplations. These are not just things that we do, but things that we contemplate. And this could apply to any religious tradition around the world or non-religious tradition. There's some version of this. If we intend to be ethical humans, then some version of the 5 precepts pretty much applies in all religions. Some, it's like you've got, within Judaism, they have, in its current form, I think 613 rules. And then they have a concept of the Noahide laws, which are 7, which are similar to this, but still not this. We'll discuss that in another video at some point. But basically, you will find all around the world a similar ethical framework. And I think that this is very healthy. In order to get through this dangerous time, all of us need to cultivate our strongest ethical expressions and purify our bodies and our minds and our energy fields and our relationships, and heal what is broken and purify what is toxic, and come into a pure, upright state. So just a quick little meditation on the 5 precepts on the Pancha Sila. So until next time, be healthy, y'all.